Hello, welcome back to Hunter Tune. Today we're going to be doing a little update on the house and the new shop and stuff like that. I'm currently about to put a weather station up on the shop. If you guys know, I love paramotor flying and stuff like that. And I have a weather station that we had at our old house, and I took it off of the roof over there, and I'm going to be installing it on the shop. And it should give me pretty accurate weather and wind readings because the shop is so high. But I had to rent a scissor lift from a buddy of mine. He's actually let me borrow it for the week. So we're gonna get out to the shop here in a second and put up this weather station, and I'm gonna show you some updates that I've done in the shop and the garage and everything like that. But first, I told you guys that I'm gonna be reading this little piece of paper that was found in the front yard. It's a little prayer page. Found it at this house, and I figured I'm gonna give credit where credit's due. So we're gonna read one of these prayers for the next couple videos. So this one is for a penitent heart. Blessed Redeemer, as I reflect on all the mistakes I have made, grant me the grace to remember that you have already covered them with your blood. While Satan desires that I wallow in my shame and self-pity for past sins, your sacrifice of love is able to wipe them out with its total cleansing and forgiveness. This was your gift to me through the plenteous redemption you earned on the cross. May I receive it with joy in your name, Jesus. Amen. So yeah, anyways, there's a bunch of these on this piece of paper I found in the front yard, and I figured it'd be a cool little addition to the channel to start off this new series with the new place. What do you think, buddy? You like the new house? He says it's hot out, Daddy. You gonna vacuum? So me and Mav are currently outside at the new place, and he's been loving it here. Big yard. We go for little bike rides on my ETM RTR. He's been just riding on the front with me, and I'm probably gonna make like a little pit bike track out here. I think it'd be a ton of fun to just go around the shop with a little rut or something. I don't know if I want to ruin the lawn yet, because my dad just gave me a zero-turn lawnmower. He found, I don't know if it was 2 Sundays ago now, he called me up. And we didn't go to church because we were so exhausted from moving. We slept in, and my dad's like, "Hey, across the street from the church, I found this Toro time cutter zero-turn lawnmower for 300 bucks." So my dad got me this lawnmower for this property, and I thought, you know, I'll be fine. I can just push mow it, or I can. I picked up this other rider for 100 bucks, and to cut the grass on this property, I never figured how big of a lawn it was until you had to cut it, you know. And I cut it, or I attempted to cut it with this Pull-On Pro, but this thing was a rough ride. It's pretty rough. I got it for 100 bucks, so I'm not really complaining too much, but it definitely is no zero turn. So my dad got it for 300 bucks, and the only thing wrong with it was the deck mount. So there's a mount over here that actually welds onto the deck, and my dad bought it, and that was broke off. So the deck was just hanging, and you couldn't you know, raise or lower the cutting deck. So I said no problem. I just stuck that thing back on with my 4-knee MIG welder. This is the first project we did at the new place here, and I welded the deck mount back on, and everything else works perfect on it. So pretty cool score. It's probably like $1,000 lawnmower that we got for 300 bucks. And the grass is about due for another cut here shortly. And especially with all of the trees on this property, all in the front yard and stuff over here, I'm gonna show you real quick. So there's a bunch of trees over here, and you know, a regular lawnmower can't really get in here efficiently and cut around all of these trees, but that zero turn, man, that thing is awesome for getting real tight around these trees. Maybe I'll show a clip of me cutting the grass over here eventually if you guys are interested. But yeah, just call me Kyle Wade or Boosted Boys. Got me a lawnmower, making a video about me getting a lawnmower. It is like ironic though that Kyle just made a video not too long ago about like getting a new property and being excited about cutting the grass, and here I am excited about my new property and cutting the grass. So as for in the shop, there is a couple more changes as well. I actually got my hoist. So this is the lift that me and Trevor bought 2 of these rotary lifts from a local shop when I moved into the farm, where I was renting with Trevor. We both bought one of these. I bought this one for 1,500 bucks and he bought another one for like 18 or 2 grand or something like that. This one needs slides, and I was gonna try to work something out with Trevor where I left the lift there at the old shop and he would just be responsible for like filling the hole and whatnot to compensate for, you know, the price difference or whatever on the lift. But after doing some research and trying to find another hoist, the only thing I'm going to find is a Chinese lift for even more than it would cost me to fill the hole. So I said, you know what, dude, it makes more sense for me to just take the lift that I already have. So we ended up taking this thing down last weekend and getting it all installed here at the new place, and it's awesome. The concrete here is super level, so there's like maybe 1 shim underneath these posts and everything is great. I did a fresh fluid change on the pump here and ran some MC cable up, you know, for now to a junction box and then back over to the breaker. So yeah, I was kind of stressing out about the lift situation and figuring out what I'm going to do with a hoist. I didn't really want to spend, you know, especially some of these local companies that have hoists, it's $4,000 to $5,000 to buy a hoist, unless you're going to wait a month for an Amazon one or a Chinese one, which who knows what kind of shape it's going to show up in, etc. And you're still going to spend 2,500 bucks to 3 grand on something like that. So I'm glad I just ended up taking this one down and bringing it over to the new place. What do you think, buddy? You like the new lift? Airplane. It's EAA right now, huh? Lots of airplanes around Oshkosh. So anyways, other than that, I did get my big toolboxes over here and I got a little radio and stuff set up. Not a whole ton of stuff. We've been mainly focusing on getting everything in the house moved in. It's not like I'm just moving a shop. I'm also moving an entire house and like a storage unit and other stuff. So the shop has been a little bit slow going, getting everything set up, but in due time, we will get everything up and rolling. So I did get a cabinet. These are some cabinets that I had at the shop that I just brought over here so I can put like my, you know, oils and brake cleaners and all that kind of stuff in here. I have like a bunch of spark plugs that I found, some wideband sensors that I'm just having over here. And then this cabinet is just going to be like my, or this is like chemical brake cleaner stuff. I don't know. I don't really have any of it organized really. And then this is like, yeah, whatever. Okay. So yeah, did that. And I got some funnels hung up. I just got like some magnets that I had at the old shop. These are just magnet hooks that you buy at Harbor Freight to hang some of them up. And I got a little press. I have this. I don't really use it that much, but I used it for doing like Grom or motorcycle engine cases. This thing works good for like pressing the crank in and stuff like that. I think it'll work good for doing like small car repairs, like ball joints and stuff like that, if I actually bolt it to the floor, which I'll probably end up doing. But I don't know when I'm going to do that because I'm still in the process of figuring out, like, am I going to drywall and insulate this place before winter, or are we going to let it roll for 1 year and then figure it out later? I don't really know, because that's probably going to be a pretty hefty bill to figure out. Another thing is I got my I got a couple engines over here under this bench right now, and I installed this hoist with this CC Impact. This video is actually sponsored by them. They sent this over for free for me to check out, and it is a 1/2-inch impact wrench with 2 batteries, 21 volt and charger and case, and it also comes with a whole bunch of sockets and like this little bag that the sockets come in. I don't know where I put that right now, but yeah, it comes with a bunch of impact sockets too, and I'm pretty sure this impact is only like, it's less than 150 bucks, so pretty cool. And I'm like, well, I don't think I'm going to recommend it unless it can rip a lug nut off my truck, which I haven't really worked on my truck in like over 2 years. I haven't even pulled the tires off of it or anything like that. So I'm gonna show you guys right now on camera this thing busting a lug nut off like it's nobody's business. I don't know if it has power settings, so you got to be careful. I think if you really go hammering on this thing, it might over torque stuff because it does have a ton of power. It says 1,000 Newton meter max. So I don't really feel like taking the center caps off my truck. So the minivan that we bought, which by the way, there was a couple comments being like, you really bought a American minivan? And it's like, bro, this is a Chrysler Town and Country. It was 2,500 bucks. It's got 200,000 miles on it and it drives like a dream. I'm not complaining for the price we paid, considering it's got brand new tires on it. And if it gets us by for a year, we get our monies out of it, you know?
Hold on, it's loud and he's right by you.
All right, buddy, you ready? We're gonna take a lug nut off. You wanna push this? Want to push this, buddy? Yeah, if you want to push?
I don't think he likes how loud it is.
Yeah, I've never even taken the lug nuts off of this thing either, so it's definitely a powerhouse.
It's okay. See, it's okay, buddy.
And it is variable speed trigger, so I guess if you got a good trigger finger, you could adjust your torque settings based on how much you're pulling the trigger. You want to try, buddy? No, he's still a little scared of it. It's too loud for him. But yeah, I'll put a link in the description.
Sorry.
I'll put a link in the description for this CC impact wrench. It's probably one of the cheapest ones on Amazon, and it gets the job done, guys. I'll tell you that.
It's a plane, buddy.
Well, that's cool. So yeah, back in the shop over here, I did get this scissor lift rented from a buddy of mine, and this thing is so nice for hooking up the hoist and for trying to hook up stuff outside on the outside of the building. I did also hook up a Ring floodlight camera system. So these are like 179 bucks at Lowe's, and they're motion, big floodlight, and the camera gets like the entire front of the property. And I bought a second one that I'm gonna put on the other garage where it will get the entire backyard. So any motion in the yard will be notified. These cameras also have a siren on them, so you can scare the shit out of an intruder if they try to screw with your property. And it also has like voice commands, so you can speak through it as well. So if somebody's here, you can be like, get out of here, what are you doing? Or like I know with our other Ring camera that's just on the doorbell, we could like verbally sign for packages and stuff like that. At least with certain UPS guys and stuff, they would kind of let that fly. So yeah, I like Ring products. The Ring cameras have been treating us well, and not sponsored by them or anything like that, just a good product that we're putting up at the new place. Another pretty cool addition to the shop is my buddy Cody Wilcox actually made me this banner, or he made the design and then had the banner shipped over to me. And this freaking banner is massive. So he made me this banner, and it's a new design logo. You guys will have to let me know what you think of it. I think it looks pretty awesome. It says Hunter Tuned Performance Tuning, budget friendly parts at huntertune.com. And then it says new and used parts, diagnostics, repair, and dyno tuning. And then we also added a Bible verse on this banner, which is awesome. It's Proverbs 16:3. Commit to the Lord whatever you do, and he will establish your plans. And I picked that verse specifically because I wanted something because this is a workshop. We're gonna be working in here, and I want to commit my work to the Lord. And I figured that would be a perfect verse, just a reminder every day that I'm coming out here to work that I'm working for him.
Preface this with, I know you should have shoes on in here.
Right.
You will in the future. Okay?
Yeah.
They'll probably get a comment being like, you should have shoes on in the shop. Is he allowed to do that?
He's fine. You playing with Daddy's paramotor, buddy? He's obsessed with fans and lights. He'll always point up at like the ceiling fan. Like I'll turn the ceiling fan on, watch him. Buddy, watch this. Is that the fan? Is that the fan, buddy? The fan, yeah. Man. They really do grow up pretty quick, don't they? Can you say car? Say car. Say car, buddy. Can you say car? He's a little shy. He knows a couple words, and I feel like, I swear, the first word that he ever spit out of his mouth was car. No paternity test needed here. Yeah, so I don't know if I mentioned in the last video too, I've been doing a lot of like updates on Snapchat. If you guys want to follow me over there, it's Hunter Tuned on Snapchat. I usually post on there a little bit more frequently. But I did hook up these Deco, I think it's called Deco 6E Wi-Fi extender things. The main Wi-Fi is in the house, and then it comes with 2 more pods. So I have a pod in the shop and I have a pod in the other garage. So pretty much the entire property here is covered with Wi-Fi from those 3 pods, and it's pretty cool. I've never actually had a shop with working internet inside of it other than my garage at home at our first house. So being able to do Honda updates and, you know, silly stuff like that without having to like go home to do the update or whatever the case is, or like try to get a hotspot on my phone working, this is a great addition. Plus I'll probably be able to hook a TV up here and watch YouTube while I'm working, and just a great little addition. And it's cool that it gets, I have full bars right now, full Wi-Fi signal in the shop, and you can see it's a pretty good distance away from inside of the brick house. So I'm sure the signal comes through the windows or something like that, but I have the other main Wi-Fi thing in the center of the house. So it gets the other garage's pod, the center one in the house, and then the one out here in the big shop. Another thing is there's a bunch of these shelves up in this building, but they're all too high for me to use. I don't know if the guy had artwork or something hanging up on some of these higher shelves, but I can't really put anything on them because they're too high up. So I'm probably going to take down a lot of these shelves that are here. Yeah, you can see there's a couple of them, and then there's this this little thing right here. I'm not really sure what that is either. And it looks like these are grow lights or something. I don't know if they had like plants or something in here. And then there's this hook system that they had kayaks hung on, and it's like a pull string. I don't know if I'm gonna keep that in here or not. I'm not really sure what I would use it for. I don't think it's like extremely heavy duty, so I don't think we're gonna be lifting like big engines or anything with that stuff or not. So time will tell. And another thing is I want to take these shelves and do all that stuff because I would like to insulate and drywall this place, or at least get that stuff set up before I move more stuff in. That was a good Facebook comment from a guy, and he said, just be wary that the more stuff you put in, the more stuff you have to take out when you drywall and insulate it. So I don't know if I should be focusing on that, or if this place might heat okay through the winter. It gets pretty cold here in Wisconsin, so I'm not really sure. And I really love the fact that it has these natural light windows. They're just like I don't even know what they are. It's like a plastic window or something. But I really like that it lets natural light in here. But if I drywall over all of this, I'm gonna lose that natural light. So I don't really know what I'm gonna do at the moment. It's kind of a big project to think about, so that's why I was considering maybe waiting a little while. Plus, I'm sure it's not going to be cheap unless we do the Menards 11% rebate on everything. Then it might save us a little bit of money. But so yeah, that's another idea in my head of how am I going to heat this place in the winter. It does have insulation on the ceiling, and I think on the side walls, or the overhangs as well, is insulated, but the walls are not. They're just like spray foamed down here. So I don't know how well this place is gonna hold heat. Thanks, buddy. And obviously I'm gonna have to take the outlets and move them out farther on each of these in order to insulate and drywall and then reposition all the outlets. And I wanna figure out exactly how much wiring I wanna put in here, because there's only a couple outlets in here. There's 1, 2, 3, like 4 total in the whole shop. So I might wanna put a couple more outlets, especially some on the back wall over here, because I can't plug my toolbox into anything without an extension cord. And I just ran an extension cord over to it for now. And then like over here to have my radio plugged in, I also have an extension cord. So I would like to maybe figure out, maybe put some receptacles, some outlet boxes over on the back wall. That is something that I would like to consider doing. Also, in the next coming days, probably going to be filling the hole at the old shop and figuring out where we want to put the dyno here. If I want to put it in the shop all the way so I can have a car all the way pulled in. If I do that, I'm gonna have to put the dyno like in this area right here. That way a car can be all the way in the shop. I can shut the door while it's on the dyno. Or I was thinking, this is probably not gonna happen, but I could put the dyno closer to the door, and considering this property has concrete outside, I can put the D-hooks to strap the car down outside and have the car be outside or back the car in if I want to do dynoing. And I think for videos, it would actually look pretty cool. Say we had a Civic backed into the shop, backed onto the dyno. You can have the Hunter Tune banner in the background of filming doing dyno tuning. So I think that would be kind of cool. Otherwise, if I have the car all the way in the shop, the view, see, you guys can tell the lighting kind of sucks. And this was a thing too at the old shop. Whenever I wanted to do dynoing, I would have the camera facing like this, facing outside with the door open, and the lighting would always suck, so you couldn't really see the car that well. And you know, if we had it here, you could have the car. The only thing that sucks is the exhaust. So the exhaust would be blowing in the shop if it I had the dyno over here. So I don't know, it's just something I'm thinking about on placement of where I want to put it. I kind of feel like I would like it closer to the door, and then you can back cars in, or if you're doing a rear wheel drive car, it'd be perfect. And then the front wheel drive stuff, I'll either have to have the car hanging outside of the shop or back it in. And then I can always do like an exhaust tube out of the side of the building with like a rubber hose. But I don't know, or I could just get like a big exhaust fan just blowing everything out. These are all just ideas that I have. Just figured I'd come on here and blab about all of this. I'm going to get on the scissor lift here shortly and hook up this weather station. We had this weather station sitting at the other house, and it's like a Sane Logic, I think is the brand. It works really well, and I'm gonna hang that up on the shop as well above the security camera. And I got my motorcycle table over here as well for working on bikes and lawnmowers and stuff like that. I want to build like a side thing for this motorcycle table so I can put like the zero turn on it and stuff like that if I need to work on it. So that's another project I want to do. I still got to get my motorcycle dyno over here. The motorcycle dyno's still at the old shop, and I did pick up another trailer the other day because I had to borrow a trailer to get that scissor lift, and because it didn't fit inside my enclosed, and I don't have an open deck, but I finally picked one up. So this is a pretty heavy duty open deck trailer. It's got brand new tires and stuff on it, so I'll have something to haul cars. I want to put a winch on it and stuff like that for doing you know, like regular car repairs. If somebody's broke down, I can kind of pick them up or tow it over here to fix the cars. It's not as easy doing that stuff with the enclosed, especially because I don't have a winch or anything on either of these trailers. But the trailer that I rented had a winch on it, and it was really nice to use. I guess I've just never had one of them. Over here in the smaller garage, we just have some of Maverick's stuff in here. I want to get a shed for outside, so we can, sorry about the lighting, I always suck with that. I want to get a shed outside. I don't know if I'm just going to buy one from Menards or whatever. I think they sell like the 7x7, just plastic throw up sheds. I might try to do something like that to organize maybe some of Maverick's tools or some of the lawn and garden equipment that we have here, the weed whackers, lawnmower, whatever, that kind of stuff. Yeah, so, but I did get some stuff moved over into the new garage. We have like a fridge. I have my smaller Cobalt toolbox that I use for, you know, just kind of household tools and stuff like that. I've always had that toolbox at my house. So this is kind of like the house garage. And I did just get a shipment of Hunter tuned injectors, and I'm hoping to have them up soon. I just have to get a workstation set up out here. I do have my injector machine over here as well. So I just have to figure out and get a system down so I can have my injectors organized. I usually have like table set up at my workstation for doing the injectors, and I have to I categorize as I flow like these new batch of injectors, a batch of a couple hundred of them here, and I usually flow them and then I categorize them into groups and then flow them a second time. And then the V2 injectors are actually scheduled to ship like tonight or tomorrow, so I'll have those in a couple days. So all the people that pre-ordered, you should be getting your order within the next like 2 weeks. And I just like hung up some helmets and stuff over here. I don't think I'm going to insulate and drywall this garage. Maybe I will eventually, but I don't think it's going to have any problem heating this garage because it has that pellet stove. But maybe I could take the pellet stove out of this garage, considering this garage would be a hell of a lot easier to heat, and put the pellet stove in the big shop. I don't know. You guys will have to let me know what you think. I don't know anything about this stuff, and I just don't know if I'm ready to do the insulation and drywall. I'm assuming that's going to be a pretty penny if I do that into big shop. Yeah, and I just got like some tool chargers and stuff hung up for now. It's just still all kind of a mess. But yeah, slowly but surely, Rome wasn't built in a day. We had a bonfire the other night. I still suck at starting fires. I'm not a Boy Scout. And every time I try to have a bonfire, I always use wet wood. I'm an idiot. But hopefully we'll get some dry wood here soon and be able to have a nice bonfire out here. I think it'll be pretty cool. But yeah, dude, I'm really hoping that we can get a pit bike track built and like have, you can kind of already see I have a little bit of a rut over here from ripping around, going around these trees, and then scoot past the backyard over there and then go around the garden, around the shop, into the front yard with all the trees, and then rip around back. I don't know, it's kind of fun. Yeah, and I still got to throw out all this stuff that came with the house. There's this door here that I'm not doing anything with. There's a bunch of old windows and stuff over here that are like broken. So we got to make a dump run one of these days and just clear some of the clutter out. But yeah, lots of stuff to do. I know I didn't show the basement in the last video, but here we are. We're in the basement, and we did get a little workstation set up down here for like doing orders. So it's kind of a mess right now, but we have some stuff organized for like some of the huntertune.com products. This is where we like print the labels and get everything shipped out. Got all the wiring adapters and pigtails and stickers and all that kind of stuff down here. Boxes, packages. We're still organizing. I have a little shelf down here. This little shelf that was in the garage that we're trying to maybe do something with in order to organize the products a little bit better, because currently there's just stuff sitting everywhere. But I feel like I might take one more week just to get everything tidied up a little bit before we put the injectors fully back in stock, because whenever I do, we get bombarded and then I lose all the free time that I have to get everything moved over. So I appreciate your patience through all this and through this move. But yeah, washer and dryer works great. Our old house, the dryer would take like 4 times to dry a set of clothes. This is an electric dryer. It dries them in like 45 minutes. It's awesome. I love electric dryers. I don't really like the gas dryers. I don't know. The electric dryers that we've had have worked so much better, in my opinion, than the gas ones that I've used in the past. And I did get my computer over here as well to finally start editing a video. So this thing fits pretty nice. We got a little dining room table over here. I just picked up this little wall art for the house. It says Jesus, the way, the truth, the life. And then there's another one back over here. It says, give it to God and go to sleep. So these are pretty cool. Yeah, we got the living room set up. And then we got this little sunroom play area for Mav. It's pretty awesome. Everything's a little bit of a mess. Give us a break, we just moved in. We got a bunch of stuff moved in here for little guy. and little girl on the way. And another thing that's been really cool about this house is it is a smaller house, but the guy that lived here before us, or the guy that set a lot of this stuff up, it's such a perfectly utilized amount of space and storage in the house. Everything like seems to have a spot where it goes. There's like storage, there's a lot of hidden storage everywhere. The basement is plenty. It's truly just been a blessing, this place has been for us, and I can't wait till we're actually settled in and can do more fun content and stuff like that. But that's going to be it for this one, guys. I'm going to get up on the roof of the shop and get this weather station hung up, and then probably put this other security camera up here shortly. And then I did order a flag as well, so hopefully one of these days coming soon I'll be able to get this flag hung up on the flagpole. But yeah, all in due time. A lot of stuff going on and a lot of projects going on. So thanks for watching. Let me know what you guys want to see next, and have a great night and a better tomorrow. God bless. We'll see you guys later.